is that it is a probability game. Because here's if you just break it down to the most fundamental level, what do you have? If you just take the market and break it down to this most fundamental level, what do you have? Buyers and sellers that do what? Create what? Up and down ticks. At the most fundamental level, what we have are buyers and sellers who create up and down ticks. And how do they create their up and down ticks? What has to happen for a tick to go higher than the last or lower than the last? What's that? Volume, but yeah, no, what's that? Somebody has to have a stronger belief in the future. Why do we know that for a fact? They want to pay more. In other words, if you look at trading at the most fundamental level, and this is really critical that you understand this. If 9 was the last price, there's only two ways you can make money in trading. You've got to buy low and sell high, or sell high and buy low. Now, if 9 is the last posted price, what's low? 8 is low and 10 is high, right? Now, what does it tell you if someone is willing to actually buy it at 10 instead of buying it at 9 or 8? Yeah, they believe it's going to go to 11, or otherwise they would have waited, right? But what about the guy selling it to him? He also has a belief too. He wouldn't be selling it to him if he didn't think that the next tick was going to be 9 or below. So what you've got is you've got two conflicting and competing forces in every single trade. Both traders are doing it to make money. Both traders believe they are right, or they wouldn't be doing it. But what's the difference? One has to have a stronger conviction in their, because they are willing to do the opposite of what they have to do to make money, at least in that moment. The opposite is they are buying high instead of buying low. They are creating movement. They are actually stepping up and creating movement where the guy on the other side of the trade is passive, doing exactly what he thinks he needs to do. He's selling high relative to the last price. So all market movement is simply a function of what, no matter what the reasons are. See, it doesn't really matter what everyone's reasons are for doing all this. It doesn't matter. Because as we already know, most people think they've got good rational reasons. The reality is they're trading randomly anyway, aren't they? So what it all boils down to is all market movement is a function of what traders believe about the future and how convicted they are, how the degree of conviction in their beliefs. Now, all this interaction, all this belief and conviction and the degree of conviction results in simply up and down ticks. Just up and down ticks, okay? Now, what technical analysis has done for us is basically help us recognize that there are patterns in the group dynamics. In other words, you've got a finite number of people who are interacting together day after day, week after week, and they will create behavior patterns. The dynamics here aren't any different than individuals who will respond in exactly the same way under the same conditions or circumstances over and over and over again. Groups do the same thing. They create behavior patterns. So the ticks, so we got individual ticks that form into these larger patterns, and these patterns we have found repeat themselves over and over and over again. Right? And as a result of the way our minds are designed to think, it is natural for us to think that if I can find consistency here, meaning this pattern repeats itself over and over again, that the outcome should also be consistent too, right? Wrong. The outcome will be consistent, wrong to an extent. Well, the outcome will be consistent over a what? Large sample size of trades. So you've got individual patterns where the patterns themselves can look exactly like the previous one, can measure mathematically exactly like the previous one, but will the outcome be the same as the previous one? And why? And we got people shaking their heads, which is good. Not everyone's shaking their head, agreeing. But the point is, how do we know for a fact that the outcome may not be the same? Because even though, like I said, visually they can look exactly the same and measure exactly the same, there are still always going to be different people involved in this trade. And it only takes one person somewhere in the world to have a different idea to negate the positive outcome of that trade, for example, if you bought that support line. Just one trader, that's all it takes. So what it means is like, it isn't any different than the concept of if I flipped a coin, an evenly weighted coin, 1,000 times, I had 1,000 flip sample set. I will find that each sample set has a relatively even distribution between the number of times heads come up and the number of times tails come up. Are you with me on this? It'll be close to 50-50. That is a pattern. That's a pattern I can rely on. But within that 1,000 flip sample size, do I know the distribution between the individual heads and tails? In other words, I don't know what the distribution is.
All right, what's up, guys? What's up, Joe? How's it going?
What's up, fam?
What's up, T?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How you been?
Good as well. Good as well. You about to be a famous rapper soon, man?
You said what?
Yeah. I'll say you about to be a famous rapper soon.
Soon enough.
Soon enough. I'll be
Soon
there.
enough. Yeah. Let's get this going. EJ. So I was looking for a buy. So okay, just looking at the higher time frame real quick. So we got a low, high, then we got a low, and then we got a a high that broke order flow or structure, and then we got an accumulation inside of this accumulation here, but we failed to make a new high. So I was taking a risk on this this accumulation here. And as you can see, it got stopped out. So I was possibly looking at this position earlier, but not anymore. Mainly going to be looking for distributions up here. EN. So we got this nice type 4 right here. It didn't quite come down to where I wanted it to, but that's okay. Just gonna wait for a schematic here. If not, then if it does blow through here, then I'll be probably be setting this. Honestly, probably gonna set it just in case. G Chef. So I was originally looking at this buy here. There wasn't a fractal accumulation inside of this entire accumulation here. But as you can see, got stopped out and started running. So I'm looking at this move here. I'm looking at the 50s, 25 pips. Say it's gonna be an 11 pip stop, so I'll take the 80. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching this tonight because if it does come up a little bit higher, yeah, I want to see a distribution at either here or maybe up here. Wait. Scratch that. No, this is an accumulation. And we got our spring here. Broke structure, so I'm gonna be looking for buys. Buy. NZD Chef. As you can see, we got a nice redistribution here. Came down and made a new low. And this is looking like the last push up right here. Oh, I did that wrong. There we go. So if it does come up, I'll be looking for a schematic somewhere here. If we do get some nice compression or a schematic right below it, then I'd be willing to set it if it's, yeah. So I'll probably set that if there's a schematic right below it. Chef, so this is still running. Looks like it's retracing right now. It still hasn't really broken order flow technically, so just gonna see how this goes because it looks like it did distribute right here in that area. So I can see this coming down lower. Yeah. We'll see. And J. So missed this limit. We got a nice accumulation into it, and then we got our center of strength here. So just taking the 80% of that last push down in that fractal. Looking like it's getting pretty close to our entry. So we'll see how it walks down. Actually, hold on. Tapped into the 50 here. So we did get an accumulation on the 1 minute. And we tapped into the 50% there. There we go. So we got this accumulation here. Then we got this reaccumulation here that gave us our sign of strength, and then we got a reaccumulation here. So realistically, oops, I did the wrong. Boom, so and right around that 80%, there's another fractal accumulation in there. So it's looking pretty nice. Covering the entire low It's gonna be like a 9-pip stop. And then just covering the wick. Again, about a 3-pip stop. Oops. Yeah, I'm looking at that tonight. Possibly. Definitely gonna want a schematic. Setting that, but yeah, it's looking pretty nice. You can. So I was anticipating maybe to get an accumulation in here, but just because this accumulation didn't create a new high, I wasn't banking on it. But it looks like we got a breaking order flow on the 30. Might be getting a schematic, so let's see what it's doing on the 5. It looks like it's accumulating on the 5 here too, so we'll see. We'll see what it does, if it can give us a sign of strength or something. Let's see, come up here. ADNZD. As you can see, this guy stopped out, reaccumulated here, made a new high. I personally will be trying to take any buys off of this. But yeah, just gonna wait on this for a little bit, see if it can give us a cleaner schematic. A chef. So we set a limit off this accumulation up here. I mean, distribution up here, and it came up distributed nicely, gave us a nice little sign of strength, but didn't break any order flow or any structure. Then it came up again and distributed in our entry, and failed to make a new low again. So just gonna be waiting on this, see if it can make a new high or a new low. But yeah, that's that. AU. So currently in this right now, risk free. Might try to throw a little bit of risk at another entry up here. So we'll see how that goes. It looks like it's distributing right now inside of this redistribution. So if it does mitigate through there, then I'll probably be setting something, a limit up here. 80%. Right there. So basically the same entry. We're looking at a 3-pip stop.
So fam,
Uh,
so why like when it got all the way down to like 0.723, you just ain't close the trade, you just stayed in and took partials?
well, I mean, I do see that accumulation there, but it did. We did get this higher time frame or this bigger distribution here,
Right.
and we got our sign of strength. So, and plus the higher
Oh.
time frame order flow is I believe bullish. I mean bearish. So yeah, it's bearish. So we
Oh, you
got
can
a
eat a
lot of
lot
components.
more.
We got this redistro inside of this distro inside of another distro.
Faster.
Yeah, so I'm probably just gonna be trying to throw another another risk at that 80% over there.
Okay.
If it doesn't if it fails to distribute in here. GBP CAD. So we got this accumulation here, this type 4. Got our break of the trading range and break of structure. And it's just been kind of going sideways. But I do have this extreme here inside of a 1 minute accumulation. So it looks like it's starting to walk itself down. I'll be resetting it again tonight. I deleted it this morning, but I'll be resetting it again tonight. CAD Chef. So I was looking for an accumulation in here. We got it. Boom. Climax, automatic rally, second test, first action, STB, spring. And then we got a whole lot of imbalance right here. So right below that 50%. So let's see what that 50% is looking like. Like 10, 11. Oh, God, that risk reward is kind of ugly. So if I were to be setting a limit, it'd probably be on the 80. And then if anything, I'll just be waiting for a schematic at the 50. CAD JPY. So we still got this limit off our fractal accumulation in here. Looks like it's still pretty far away though. So, and we did get an accumulation in here. So if we do make a new high, that's why. Kind of the same thing as CAD Chef, but I'll just be looking for a schematic in here. EA, so I think this was activated for me last night and tapped out right away, and then proceeded to make the new low. So I'm thinking it tapped into the 80% here. So, oh well. Wash
And you could have ate.
Sure could have. Sure could have. It's all good though. NZD CAD, kind of same thing, made a new low off this redistribution, but I won't be trading off it just because can't really tell what's going on. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I just not appealing. Chef JPY. So we did make a new high here, confirming the reaccumulation, and we got a nice push down. But as you can see from this, the 80%, it's a 17 pip stop. So just gonna be waiting for an accumulation in here. Looks like we're starting to distribute, so we'll see what happens. EG. Yeah. Okay. So I was trying to buy off a couple of these accumulations, didn't work out. All right though. Just gonna switch my bias to sales now. Looking at this distro up here. Probably looking at this. So covering the wick, it's a 2.8 pip stop. Covering the high, it's 4.2. So that's pretty solid. I'll probably be setting that tonight. Yeah. UJ. So we got this distro up here, and we got a nice sign of weakness. So just gonna be waiting for it to hopefully come up. It looks like it did distribute in this BOS POI. So if it does continue to go down, that's the reason why. And we'll just continue to look in here for positions maybe. PJ. So it looks like it distributed right where we wanted it to. Give a nice little type 5. But I personally don't think I'll be taking any positions on it just because I got a couple of trades already for tonight. But that's it. Do you guys have anything on me to look at?
No, I'm still in the books, but I appreciate you, fam.
Good. All right. I'll tap in with y'all tomorrow morning then. I'm going to tap in with you, Joe.
Have a blessed night, Kings.
You too, Wolf.
Later.